Hi, my name is Garrett Maxon. This is a Dragon tutorial on macro recorder. To start off by saying that I don't suggest this for anybody who's new to Dragon or new to making commands. The reason why is because this is actually the third time I've made this tutorial video, and I've had to remake it because of how inconsistent macro recording is. The variables change per window, per computer, per how many applications are on your computer. There's so many times that a macro will change, or sorry, your computer environment will change, that the macro recorder is very specific to what it needs. So if you do make a macro recorder based on keystrokes and mouse movement, is what macro recorder does, keep it very short and very simple and in one window, and that's it. And then when you get into advanced scripting, you can use a little bit more of these tools to allow you to do things a little bit easier. Keystrokes, using things by step, or advanced scripting with keystrokes is going to be a lot more accurate, and if you're doing something 1,000 times, you want your command to be as accurate as possible. So that being said, we'll go ahead and go into this. We're going to make a really short one with this. So this is tools. Our tutorial profile is already loaded up, as you can see right here, our tutorial. I'm going to bring this back down. I'm going to tools, add new command. This is our command name, and what we say to call the command. We're going to call this macro recorder tutorial. And then for good practice, we'll train it. Macro recorder tutorial. Okay. And our description, this is going to be an example of a macro recorder. Okay, our group is going to be our user-defined default. Our availability is going to be in our global. When you start using this, you might want to use application-specific to do a real small macro. I'm going to do global so I can show you some of the ways that a macro can fail. We're going to take this from text and graphics down to macro recorder. Our name editor is unimportant. It's more important in advanced scripting, so we don't need to worry about this. There's very basic controls here. We got to record, play. When I hit record, it's going to bring up a small window, which is actually going to appear on another one of my screens. So I'm going to drag it over. It's the first thing I'm going to do. And then I'm going to make a Word document with a quick hello world content in it. And then we'll play the macro again. So this is macro recorder tutorial. Go and then started it. And here we have our small screen. And right now we're recording. So I'm going to right click, new, Word, not name it. Double click it to open it. I'm going to move it to the side. Hello world. I'm going to close it. Save it. Oh, actually, no, I'm sorry. I'm not going to save it. Don't save. And that is going to be our command. Now, there's a lot of things going on through that, which I want to explain as we're going, but we're going to go ahead and look at this. We're going to close this down. We're going to see that this is all the mouse movements that we made, and also the clicks. And when I wrote hello world, where is that at? Here it is. It's a long list because it captures every single coordinate that's going on. There. Hello world. Those are my keystrokes right there. So this mouse movement, this is the fact that the mouse is moving, and these are the coordinates. This is my horizontal, and this is my vertical over here. So you see that these numbers change just a little bit as we go. And if the mouse stops, then it won't record that movement, and you can have your mouse sitting there and the macro recorder running. And just as long as there's no movement, it'll just skip to the next step. This is a step by step by step. And then including the hello world part, and then also your mouse clicks. Mouse click down, and then release the mouse click up. That's one click down and then up. So from here we're going to run it. It'll run it much slower. So macro recorder tutorial is how I'm going to call this. Macro recorder tutorial. And you'll see I moved it over to the side there so I can make room for another file to be made. Now if I had left the file there and right clicked on it, it would have given me properties of that file, and that would have failed our macro right there. So we created a new one. We'll have it open up, and then it's going to go down and write hello world. It's going to move it over, and you'll see that'll cause an issue too. It'll bump it down. So there's another part where it can fail. Dragon does something very good as far as this goes, where right now it'll hit the proper, I can't show you things, but it'll hit the X on the Microsoft Word document in the right place, because Dragon actually takes care of where the titles are I'm sorry, the windows, where the window locations are, and the buttons within the window locations. So that's where I was going to save, and then I don't save. So I'll explain that a little bit better by coming back through. And what I mean by where it'll recognize where the document is, you see this X up here, that's to close Word. Now that is in a specific location all the time inside of this Microsoft Word window. And so Dragon recognizes that the mouse is in desktop. It's on the desktop right now, but then it also recognizes that now it's in Word, and it does know that that's specific there. So it will be smart in the fact that it'll adjust for where each particular window is, but that's not always how it works, because in the case of CoPath, if you have CoPath, there's a window within a window, and the inner window won't save the location, or Dragon won't recognize where that location is, so that will cause a fail as well. So if I close that up here, and I open it back up again, as you remember, it was down here before. If I did run it again, it's just going to open up another document and it will fail. So that is a quick way of seeing how to use Macro Recorder. Again, I don't suggest it. Maybe if you were inside of Word, that was very basic, and you said close Word, I would just do Alt F4 personally, but you could, if you find some way that you want to use this, have the mouse come up and click Exit, or click some specific thing in here, which again I wouldn't recommend, but you might find a need for it. So that's just basically explaining how it works, what are the negatives about it, how it might be useful for you in the long run at some point. And when we get into advanced scripting, I'll make a Macro Recorder Advanced where I show you how you can use the command itself to pull coordinates. Those coordinates that we were looking at, those can be useful within advanced scripting. But be careful with it and try it out. See if you like it. So this is Garrett Maxim. Thanks for listening.